welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm recapping the quarterfinals and predicting the play-in and the semifinals of the 2023 CONCACAF Central American Cup. Reacciones de la cortos de final y predicciones de la repechaje y semifinales de la Copa Central Americana de la CONCACAF. Wow. I batted 500 during these predictions. We'll start with the quarterfinals, okay? Quarterfinal results, and we'll go in order to how they finished. So 4-1, because that's how they played it. You ain't slick. Quarterfinal 4, Club Atlético Independiente de la Chorrera 3, FC Motagua 1, Independiente 3, Motagua 1. I was wrong about this one. I expected better out of Motagua. I really did. I expected them to play like they at least would get to the final. Independiente have been amazing in this tournament. You cannot sleep on Independiente at all. And I guess I did. They got the 1-1 draw down in Motagua. They got the 1 away goal. They scored 2 at home, and they just popped that thing away. Motagua didn't even have an answer. Motagua looked like bridesmaids way earlier than they should have. And this was a better team than the one who beat Forge a couple of years ago. Yeah, I'm still mad about that. Or not mad about it, but I'm still miffed. That Forge team really did run out of gas, didn't they? Because this Motagua team on paper was better than that Motagua team that beat Forge and got to the final in 21. And then bottled it to Comunicaciones because they're bridesmaids. But, again, for me, this Motagua team was better on paper. Why'd they lose to Independiente? Because this Independiente team is not better than that Forge team on paper. Truthfully. At least that's what I thought. But they know how to play. They play tough. They play with heart. They play with fight. And that's exactly why they won. They believe in themselves. They believe in their crest. They believe in the stories and the history, the recent history of the club. They believe they can knock out big boys. They believe they can knock out the big clubs because they've done it before. Independiente, they've done it before. Hell, they almost did it twice that year with Sporting KC. They should have, honestly. They know they can knock out big teams. Even if this is a whole different roster and a different coach. They still are repping their crest and repping their reputation, so to speak. Motagua, well, they did too. They just bridesmaid themselves out of the tournament earlier than they should. It's like that fifth bridesmaid, you know, instead of like the maid of honor, it's like that fifth one. It's like, yeah, I kind of have to have you because you're the sister of my best friend or whatever. That's what they were here. That's what they were here. They're not the maid of honor. They're the sister of the maid of honor in this case. Yeah, not great. Not great. Bridesmaids. You will be called the bridesmaid. How do you beat Pachuca? Question. Motagua, how do you beat Pachuca 7 months ago? Give or take, 7 months ago. In Champions Cup. Champions League. Still was Champions League at the point. But you lose to Independiente here. You got Pachuca'd. You got Pachuca'd. You did the same stuff that Pachuca did when you played them. How the turntables. How the turntables. I swear, I was wrong about that one. 0-1 on my picks. How the turntables. Quarterfinal 3, Deportivo Saprissa 2, Real Esteli 3. Deportivo Saprissa 2, Real Esteli 3. I was wrong about this one as well. 2 Cinderellas in the semifinals against each other. 1 Cinderella semifinal, 1 chalk semifinal. We'll get there. I mean, 1 Classico too. But Esteli, they got a 1-0 win at home, and then they went down to Costa Rica and said, all right, all we got to do is get a draw. That's all we got to do. Scoring draw. They did. They played the tie the way they needed to play it. They scored 3 goals, 2 goals down there, 1 goal at home. They never have lost. They haven't lost at home in like 16 matches in CONCACAF. Their stadium, Esteli, is a fortress. They don't lose at home. They barely even draw. Olympia, you should have known Olympia was screwed when they lost down in Esteli. Now, speaking of Olympia, the thing that got me about Saprissa is they've been talking all that shit since Olympia got knocked out. Feeling a little bit petty tonight. Don't know why. They've been talking all that shit since Olympia got knocked out, saying, oh, we're más grande del Centro Americana. We're más grande. No. You got knocked out the next round by a team that was in their group. Well, actually, no. No, it was, yeah, because Kai came out of that group, too. You got knocked out by a team that was in their group. Who knocked them out. Who beat them. Stop talking that shit. Olympia, by the way, it's not your turn to talk shit. You got knocked out in the group stage. You don't have the right. You don't have the right. You don't have the right. Trust me. But Esteli, they've been playing well in this tournament. They've been a surprise package in this tournament. I'm not saying they're the favorite. But they're in Champions Cup. They could surprise some people. It's kind of like Real España last year, you know, and also with Independiente, you know. Both are sort of like Real España last year in the CONCACAF League. Nobody expected them to do a damn thing. They got to the semifinals. Both. España got to... I think they got to the semis. It was either... Well, they were either the best losing quarterfinals, so they got to the semis. That's World Cup. I think we're around there. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they made the semis too. So yeah, this is pretty much just a double Real España run, and funny how the other one's a Steli. Funny. But again, it's a very I wouldn't say unsurprising. Oh, there's the other one. Good. I'll handle that after the video. Just handle that after the video. But yeah, they made the semifinals too. But again, yeah. That's football for you. Real Esteli deservedly goes through. They played well. 0-2 on my predictions. Quarterfinal 2. Quarterfinal 2. CS Herediano 3, Comunicaciones FC 2, Herediano 3, Comunicaciones 2. Herediano had a 2-0 lead at the half. You would think they'd finish it off. You would have thought that they wouldn't let Comunicaciones get back into this tie, because all they had to do was, it was the final result. It was the second leg result that mattered. At home, mind you. What happens is they allow 2 goals, and luckily, right at the death, 3 minutes to go, there's a goal headed in by Ferron to get the win. Herediano got lucky, to be completely honest. They should have lost on a draw. They should have never given up the draw, but once they gave it up, they got knocked out. At least they hulked up. But Herediano, they just limped their way into the semifinals, just like Cardenas did to the quarters. Yeah, let me tell you, I think we know where that's going. But I got that one right, thanks to that last-minute goal by Ferrol. So I guess there's always a silver lining to the situation. 1 for 3 on my predictions. Quarterfinal 1, El Alajuelense 6, CS Cardenas 1, Cesa 1, Alajuelense. I got that one right. Of course I did. Alajuelense ripped them to shreds in Cartago and in Alajuela. They were just like, nope, nope. Nope. We don't care. We're going to rip you to shreds. We want this trophy. It's a clean path. Olympia isn't there. Saprisa's not there, because by the time that was played, yeah, we knew. Comunicaciones ain't there. Motagua ain't there. It's a clear path. We gotta rip you to shreds. First leg, well, they already had ripped him to shreds and they didn't know. But second leg, it's like, yeah, I might as well get it done and make a statement. First leg, the 3-1, the 3 away goals, tie was over after that. The second leg, it was like, yeah, might as well. Might as well make it worse. Might as well just drive the knife in. And they did. And they were only playing at 50%. They drove the knife in the heart after that. It was like, yep, we don't care. We're going to drive the knife down. They did. 6-1. I was right. So I was 2 for 4 in my predictions. I was 500. I batted 500 on my quarterfinal predictions. Yeah, sounds about right. Now, I guess it is hard to win here. I guess it is hard to play here and hard to win here. Now, the play-in predictions and semifinal predictions. We'll start with the play-in because That's to play in the Champions Cup. Semifinals could go to the finals, so we'll start with the play-ins. Play-in 1, CS Cartagenes versus Comunicaciones FC. Cartagenes legitimately limped into the semis, or the quarters, got freaking buzzsawed. Comunicaciones almost beat Herediano. To me, what that says is Comunicaciones is a bigger club. They already should have beaten a Costa Rican club, and they can. And I don't think Cartagenes is better than Herediano from what they've done. To me, Cartagenes wins and gets into the Champions Cup. I don't see... Or Comunicaciones. Comunicaciones gets into the Champions Cup. My bad if I did mess it up, but... Comunicaciones. See, C and C, it doesn't really hit well. If it did. Comunicaciones. They're going to get into the Champions Cup. I don't see why they wouldn't. They're the better team. They were nearly better than Herediano. I don't think Cartagenes is better than Herediano. They should have beaten Herediano. At the last second, they got beat. I don't think they're going to have a bad game down at home in this tie. And I think they're a team that answers well to last-ditch efforts. Comunicaciones goes to the Champions Cup. They win their play-in, repechaje. Play-in 2, Deportivo Saprissa versus FC Motagua. Saprissa. Why? Motagua does not answer well to last-ditch efforts. Speaking of that, Saprissa, they seem like they would answer. And Motagua does not look like the giant that they are. And besides, the last time they played a play-in tie, when they played Real Esteli back in 2020 to get into the 2021 CONCACAF Champions League, let's remember that tournament had a play-in round thanks to Miss Rona. They lost on penalties. It was a one-legged tie, but they still lost to Real Esteli. So, by the power levels of this, Saprissa, who got to the final in that tournament, and who are still that good, should still win the tie. Saprissa are probably pissed they went down to Esteli. I guarantee you that team wants Champions League, Champions Cup more than anything. And it's their last-ditch effort. And Motagua won't know what hit them. You thought Independiente made you look stupid? Well, I guess Saprissa wouldn't. But in the end, it should be a lot more even, but it won't be. Saprissa goes to the Champions Cup by winning their play-in. So they join Alajuelense, Herediano, Esteli, and Independiente as the 6 from Central America, Comunicaciones and Saprissa. Motagua and Cartagenes are on the outside looking in. There you go. Semifinal 1. El de Alajuelense versus CS Herediano. We have a Costa Rican derby. And somebody in my comments said Herediano knows Alajuelense well. Alajuelense are not guaranteed to win this whole thing. To me, and I'm not trying to down this person who said that to me, but do you not think that's the same thing Cartagenes thought? That they know Alajuelense well? That they know their weaknesses? They still got buzzsawed. Herediano proceeds to nearly get eliminated with a last-minute goal saving their hind end. Alajuelense doesn't need that. Herediano limped into the semis just like Cartagenes limped into the quarters. To me, what that says is Alajuelense is the best team in Costa Rica. What that says to me is that they're the best team in CONCACAF. Central American, of course, this tournament, when I say CONCACAF. What that says to me is Alajuelense is here to win. They're going to buzzsaw Herediano. I don't see why they wouldn't. Yes, I think Herediano does have more. There are some more talented single players on that team than Cartagenes. This might be closer. It might be 5-3. It might be 6-2 or 6-4. It might be. It could be a goal fest. I'm not saying it won't. It could be 6-4. But I still think Alajuelense wins. They're still going to score more goals. They will outscore Herediano at the very least. Could they just dominate this tie too? Yes, which still means they outscore them. But could they win by outscoring them? Yes. Is that a possibility? Yes. Do I think Herediano has a better chance than Cardenas? Yes. Is it still under a 30% chance? Yes. Alajuelense wins the tie and goes to the final. Semifinal 2, Real Estelí versus Club Atlético Independiente de la Chorrera. I'm going to say Independiente to win the semi because they beat Estelí. They beat them in the group. They beat them in Panama. They have to play them again at Rommel. They have to go down to Estelí, yes. And I think Independiente finishes the tie. They're the second leg host, if I remember correctly. They host the second leg. If they get a draw, they're winning this tie. If they don't lose in Estelí, they're winning this tie. Simple as. If they could draw or win, probably a draw. They will win at home. They did it to Motagua. Who's to say they can't do it to Estelí? They already beat them down in Panama. I'm sure they'll do it again. They proved they could do it once. They proved head-to-head in the group that they were the better team. They won the group because they beat Estelí. To me, I don't see why that would be any different unless there's revenge, but it'll be a close tie. Yes, it'll be a tight tie. Probably a 3-1, 2-1 win on aggregate either way. But I will tell you this. I think Independiente is going to get it done. The Panamanians will go to the final. So that means my predicted final for the the Central American Cup is El Alajuelense of Costa Rica versus Club Atlético Independiente. The favorite versus the Cinderella. The favorite versus the giant killer. It's going to be an interesting final. We'll see how it goes. With that being said, we got Alajuelense Independiente in the final. Let's see how it turns. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification one. Subscribe. Send super chats on a live stream. Comment on this video. Put us in play. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for a live watch along and review of Red Bull New York Red Bulls versus Toronto FC. 2 more to go. Penultimate game of the season. Thank God. I will see you tomorrow for that. And then I'll see you on Sunday for Santos Laguna versus Leon. And I think that one's on Tubi, but I'll be live for it and review it Domingo Futbolero. So there we go. So I'll see you then. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you later.